I don't know. You guys tell me. Seems like our thesis is playing out pretty well. Look at Bitcoin's price. It's up to 55,000. I specifically said I'm using it as an indicator. I also said altcoins were going to outcompete Bitcoin by percentage gains. If we click the 24-hour here, I'm not buying Bitcoin. I'm using it as an indicator. Phantom's up 36.3%. Shiba Inu up 11.5%. Polkadot 7.5%. The 7 days doing well. 7 days doing pretty well. Phantom, one of my better calls, to be completely honest with you. And like I said, I mean, if you've been following video after video, you have noticed that pretty much everything we've been saying is aligning up. Now, I'm not perfect, but it's kind of predictable if you put in the work. So let's put in some more work. In this video, we're going to be talking about the recent news that's happening in Bitcoin, of course, regulation, adoption, and I'm going to be updating my thesis, explaining to people exactly how we invest and more. Keep watching. What's going on, everybody? Alex back with another video, and I didn't mean that as a hype intro. I mean, Shiba Inu's popping off. We talked about it yesterday. I invested not into Shiba Inu, but some of the smaller market cap alternatives, and I'm doing really well. Some of them up 70% in the last 24 hours. I've been saying time and time again, Bitcoin leading indicator, altcoins, that's where the money is made, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you are here to make money. So we're gonna go over some of the news. I'm gonna be telling you guys what I'm thinking, of course, like pretty much all of my other videos. So do us both a favor, hit the subscribe button, share this video with a friend, and of course, smash the like button. I saw a lot of you guys in the comment section putting one, showing me that you're actually participating in the community. So if you guys can, same people, can you do me a favor and throw a 2 in the chat if you shared it with a friend? Okay, if you shared it with a friend, like the video, and of course you're already subscribed, right? And also ninja trick, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard this before, but turn on the post notification bells and get the content as quick as you possibly can. Cryptocurrency moves way too fast. So if we come over here, I want to show you something. Shiba Inu is up 385% in a week, becomes the 12th largest cryptocurrency. What's going on? I've been telling you guys, innovation is arising. Things are changing. You know, that's the only thing guaranteed in life, right? The only thing guaranteed in life that whatever you know will change. That's a guarantee. And what's happening is we're going from like fundamental, decentralized finance to NFTs and dog coins because this is what people resonate with, right? So very interesting. If you want to check out the full kind of like Shiba Inu reasoning, watch my last video where I talked about Shiba Inu potentially taking over the market, and it just happened to be, it jumped up 10 slots right after we talked about that video, but it kind of explains the back end, the community aspect, right? So you can watch that for more information. But yeah, clearly Shiba Inu is leading the way, and I used it as an indicator to buy things like Akita Inu and Elon. So I made a lot of money off that. If you look at the percentage gains, I'm not here to showboat or anything. I agree with this right here, just to show you some tweets. We have this 55 to 57K resistance level here, and this is on-chain metrics. You can see it in technical analysis as well. Just be careful. We're probably going to trade Bitcoin sideways for a while. I do expect it to retest all-time highs eventually, and then from there I'll probably reevaluate the market, but just pay attention to that price range and what's going to happen, which always happens. The thesis I keep saying time and time again to kind of beat it into people's heads, but Bitcoin leading indicator goes up by large percentages because of institutional demand or whatever, and then they realize that there's other assets out there that they're going to do well, and the money starts leaking from Bitcoin and Ethereum into smaller market cap altcoins with higher potential, and then they start doing the massive gains. You guys know I don't really invest in Bitcoin too much. There's a time and place for everything, and in my personal opinion, the best time and place to invest in Bitcoin is in the bear markets, like the bottom because it's guaranteed, right? There's really nothing guaranteed more than Bitcoin. It just doesn't rise by percentages that are favorable to me. I'm trying to stack more Satoshis. So like right around here, when we had that massive dump and people were freaking out from 10K all the way down to 6K, 4K, that's all I was buying was, guaranteed bets, which was Bitcoin. The climate was different. Nobody was aggressively bullish like that. It was almost like if you're buying and talking about buying at this point, you're like the odd man out. So yeah, it makes sense to buy Bitcoin there. But look, guys, we're at the top. Like, the cycle is continuing. Let's buy some altcoins, right? Let's get into there. But we look at it as a way to indicate what's going to happen with the altcoin cycle. So, Bitcoin jumping up 10% and then immediately kind of trading sideways. A lot of the money clearly leaked into some altcoins, and you can see that definitely happened in real time and a lot of money made. Yes, the SEC has kicked the can on the Bitcoin ETF approval, but that is for physically backed ones under the 33 Act. The futures ETFs filed under the 40 Act, which Gen Z loves, and are very much alive and likely on schedule. And they're saying, and this is from a Bloomberg analyst, that they have a 75% chance at approval in October. So we have more ETFs potentially being approved in October. And then, of course, they have the other ETFs that were pushed off towards November, December, right? So depending on if they push it off again, it's almost like what recently happened was kind of just like a predetermined thing because of the ETFs. Like people are buying before the ETF confirmation, and this guy's kind of saying the same thing. CME futures, basis, and BTC blew out over the past 24 hours. And his guess is folks are front running a futures-based BTC ETF, the ETFs being accepted. And then, of course, shorts are getting margin called because they keep putting in shorts, and then allows the price to bump exponentially in these large percentages, right? In other news, it's very interesting because, now that Bitcoin's trading at 55,000 around there, the people in El Salvador are up anywhere from 10 to 20%. So that's a really good perspective to take in consideration because, I really kind of understood this concept from a book called The Outliers, where, just positive reinforcement feedback loops, right? Like, a person that plays soccer and he's the oldest in his age group, right? Because, there's kind of like that cutoff date, which is around August in Florida, where, if you're born, and I actually happen to be one of the youngest in my age group, right? My class, to where, people that are older in their age group, they typically stronger and more developed, right? It's more pronounced when you're younger. And when you're playing games like soccer or basketball, you have an exponential growth curve, considering the fact that you're going to be a little bit ahead of all your peers. And it's going to be this positive feedback loop of the coach liking you more because you're better than everybody else, right? And you get more practice, you get more attention from the coach. All I'm saying is the first experience with a country adopting Bitcoin, they're already up 20%. This is a positive experience. This is a case study for other countries. We see Brazil potentially adopting this. And we see the people, it was like, 3 million or some, I forgot the exact number. Don't quote me on that. You see the people of El Salvador, they got the free $30 worth of Bitcoin, and now it's up 10 to 20%, depending on if they sold it. That's a positive first experience. And, if we learn anything from history, the momentum is everything. That could happen for other countries, and I'm sure they'll adopt it more aggressively because of this. In other news, we see Jack Dorsey tweeting, the creator of Twitter, 1 trillion, and he's referring to the $1 trillion valuation for Bitcoin's price, or Bitcoin's market cap, excuse me. And he's also tweeting, and you could tell like I don't know if he's a Bitcoin maxi per se, but you can tell his Bitcoin maxi energy. More importantly, 1856. And what he's referring to is Satoshis per dollar. And now it obviously changed a little bit, but you can just clearly see that he's pushing towards Bitcoin maximalism. And, it's because of the qualities of money and stuff like that. We know if you want to be a Bitcoin maxi, then the best thing you should do is stack Satoshis by accumulating altcoins and selling them to Bitcoin. So regardless of the situation, he's a billionaire, or I don't know if he's exactly a billionaire. I just know he's extremely rich, and don't just hold Bitcoin. It's not the strategy for people that are not extremely rich and thinking super duper long term. In other news, we see Coinbase, a cryptocurrency, trending on the 24-hour. It's almost like we see this once or twice a week, literally at this point. And Shiba Inu's trending, and Dogecoin is trending, and it's absolutely ridiculous how many times we're in the news. Like, it's just as simple as that. It's just a popular thing now. People know what the deal is. If we look at regulation, you can see in the past 2 days, people are freaking out. And I'm not going to play the video because it's pretty boring. But the SEC chairman, Gary, basically saying he has no plans to ban Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. He's just going to attack it with very, very small regulation, maneuvers, and he's going to take advantage of people in small ways. That's usually how it's played out. So just pay attention to what goes on in, the actualities of it, not just the headline news of, plans to not ban Bitcoin. He might not actually ban Bitcoin, but there could be a lot of moves against it. Regulators say stablecoins should face same scrutiny as existing payments. So this just shows, again, they don't know what's going on, right? Regulators are trying to figure out what cryptocurrency is. They're trying to figure out what stablecoins are. You cannot regulate it with the same standards because the systems that created it are not the same. It's almost impossible. And we've been trying to voice this. The cryptocurrency community has been voicing this over and over again. There needs to be a new way to measure cryptocurrency. It just has to be completely new. You have to think of it from the ground up. And I don't think these people that are in office have, the technical capabilities to do that. It's as simple as that. So unfortunately, we have to deal with this for now. But, as you can see right here, SEC commissioner is voicing her concerns, the same concerns we have. It's disconcerting to me that for 3 years now, I've been asking for regulatory clarity. We can't seem to provide any. She said, Yahoo Finance Live. I think this is really becoming a huge barrier to this industry being able to develop in any way that's safe, but also in a way that allows innovation to happen. They're stifling innovation, and other countries are taking advantage of this. It's a real shame to me that we're not just taking up the mantle as regulators to develop a regulatory framework. They need to do something. They can't just use the old ways of measuring money to try to measure something that's completely different. It just doesn't make sense. There needs to be a new standard. There really does. And Brian Armstrong just kind of going on the internet talking about how, these regulations are putting pressure on big tech. I'm not going to go into the actual tweet thread, but you can see here, I do worry that as companies get to be more successful, the number of attacks from press, politicians, and trolls on CEOs become more aggressive, et cetera, makes the job not fun, blah, blah, blah. I mean, look, I get it, but that is what you put yourself, that's what you did. You knew when you got into, Coinbase, that making billions of dollars comes with the headache of changing the world. I don't know what you want me to tell you. He's just coming on there saying that. And I guess it's a good point to make. It's a good perspective to look at. Willy Woo looking at the congressional hearing with Gary Gensler and basically pointed out something I thought was really, really important for people to understand. He's basically talking about crossing the chasm. So as you can see here, what he's saying is my takeaway is 55 million US investors have exposure to crypto assets. That's 16.6% of the US population. And he's referring to crossing the chasm, which is 13.5%. What does that mean? So as you can see right here, innovators are 2.5%, whatever you want to call it, 13.5% are early adopters. And what's happening is we are moving from the early adopters phase into the early majority, which is, as you can see, one of the biggest blocks of adoption. So this is where we could potentially get into what he was talking about earlier. We've talked about in previous videos where we don't have a dumping, we don't have a bear market, and the cycle just continues to grow through the early majority and late majority, if that makes sense. And then eventually the laggers will come. And these are the people that didn't adopt, like the internet, and they're still using like a flip phone and stuff like that. In other adoption news, you can see Robinhood's rival adds cryptos, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin. And we've been saying this over and over again. The rivals, the competitors are going to try to beat them by outworking them and having a better business model. And they're seeing that revenue is being generated through Coinbase, and other cryptocurrency platforms that adopt cryptocurrency. You adopt cryptocurrency, you start winning, your competitors take notice, and either they try to front run you, just like what's happening right now, or they come after you. Whatever the case is, it's a get with it or get left behind situation. Also, I thought this was really big. The second biggest offer of silver on planet Earth wants to offer silver tokens. What's happening? Adoption all over the world. If you don't see the writing on the wall, what are you doing? You should be paying attention to what's going on. MoneyGram looks to Stellar and USDC to enable local currency payouts. What's happening? If news like this came out like 2 years ago, people would be freaking out. The adoption is getting overwhelming. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. If we come over here, you can also see that corporates are asking for more and more Bitcoin on their balance sheet. You see the adoption all over. We already talked about Bank of America launching their coverage of digital assets. They're going to be creating reports on digital assets. This primer provides an investment framework for digital asset landscape, looking through a variety of lenses, tokens that act like operating systems, applications powered by smart contracts, stablecoins pegged to fiat currencies, central bank digital currencies that can replace money and non-fungible tokens that connect creators and fans in a different way, coming from Bank of America. Please open your eyes and pay attention to what's going on. George Soros, owns a family office, and the CEO has confirmed that he has accumulated Bitcoin. What's going on? Do you guys not see this? This guy's worth $8.6 billion. He's a celebrated hedge fund tycoon. He's adding Bitcoin to his balance sheet. So from this video, we have the CEO of this fund that, she confirms that they hold Bitcoin that is owned by George Soros. And she's basically kind of displays it, in my personal opinion, very elegantly. So let's play what she has to say here.
Yeah, Bitcoin's at 50,000.
Yep, Bitcoin's at 50,000. So I think that's the really interesting thing is that, I'm not sure Bitcoin is only viewed as an inflation hedge here. I think it's crossed the chasm to mainstream. It's, cryptocurrencies now have a market cap of over $2 trillion. There's 200 million users around the world. So I think this has gone mainstream from our perspective, again, more than we own some coins, but more than not a lot. And the coins themselves are less interesting than the use cases of DeFi and things like that.
Let's go back to
Look what she's saying. The use cases of DeFi. She's saying it's not just a hedge against monetary inflation, and it's more than that. Guys, just pay attention to what's going on. Innovations happening before your eyes. U.S. Bank launches Bitcoin custody service as institutions race to cater to crypto demand. I don't know. You guys tell me. What's happening here? U.S. Bank, the 5th largest retail bank in the nation, announced Tuesday that cryptocurrency custodial services are going to be available to fund managers. What else do you want me to say? What much more do you guys want? Share this with your friends that don't understand, cryptocurrency. Please, let's get people in here. Orlando Bravo says private equity firm will invest in blockchain. More adoption. I mean, it's all over. AMC theaters begin to accept Dogecoin for gift cards. I mean, what do you guys want me to say? I'm going to leave it like that. Positive energy. Bitcoin doing very well right now. Is the cat out of the bag? I don't know. Don't buy Bitcoin, in my personal opinion. It's not financial advice, but get into some altcoins. Last leg of the bull run. Let's make as much money as we possibly can if it's the last leg. If not, I mean, we could be on Willy Woo's page and, we could just continue to go into oblivion and, get rich. That's it for this video. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism. Subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with it, I mean, you will get left behind. I can guarantee that. And it's not just a catchphrase that I say in every video. It's real. That's it for this video, guys. Catch you in the next one.